everybody. I think we are back and rolling to normal speed. We are back with witches and warlocks, and I am going to try to get this started because we had issues earlier with the sound. July 6th. I guess it's our latest playthrough. Why has nothing happened? There we go. Let's go ahead and do... We can make some potions, I think. If you brew 3 of the same, Damien will give you 2 additional points. Lawrence will triple your potions output for your 3rd choice. And if you brew 3 different potions, Carmilla will give you 2 random additional. Okay, we're gonna do Damien, and we're gonna do all blue. Just see how this works. Yeah, that gave us our... While cleaning the shop, I found a very unique looking, obviously ancient vase. But is there any other kind? Amazed by all the intricate decorations, I took it off the shelf for inspection. And at the same moment, Carmilla appeared out of nowhere and spooked the hell out of me. As soon as I dropped the vase, the shop was shrouded in darkness. Then an evil spirit appeared. I must have the worst luck. Luckily, I was able to easily stitch the vase back together, so the spirit returned to it without causing any trouble. Carmilla was pretty impressed by my quick wits, and even sweet-talked Mr. West into not deducting my pay for the breaking the vase. But she should have done that to begin with, since it was her fault I broke it. The Halloween exams are soon. Very soon. I think I've learned quite a bit, but just to be sure, I decided to go bug Damien into cramming with me like we usually do. However, the moment I get through the door, it's like I walked straight into a horror movie. Fingers splayed across the table, and an arm hanging off the chair? Ooh, what an absolute mess. Damien's normally so tidy. It's not like them to just leave their parts out and about like this and run. Someone could get seriously hurt. Wait, where did they go?
Hello?
Damien, are you here? B?
Huh?
Damien, where are you? I don't see... Whoa. In an instant, I hit the ground. Why is this leg here? It's almost like it only exists for me to trip over when I have to go find my friend. Hold on. I recognize this leg, and now that I'm down here, I see a head under the table.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Damien!
Damien? You're in
Why?
pieces. What happened?
No,
No, actually, wait.
I
First
must do
and
it.
foremost, I'm super skilled witch now, so let me help you out for once. I think Damien said something else, but I am in such a frenzy trying to gather up their fallen limbs that I didn't quite catch what they said. No organs laying around. I guess it could be worse. Like a snake, Damien has managed to wiggle out from under the table by the time I've done my scavenger hunt.
Alright!
Okay, limbs, check. Needles, check. Misplaced confidence, check.
I'll work hard.
We're ready to begin the surgery, doctor.
Stitch!
I set Damien's appendages where I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be and recite the incantation, with proper pitch this time. Take these parts now asunder and patch them into a thing of wonder.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, B. This must be absolutely mortifying.
No way!
Don't you sorry me. You've been really careful about keeping up on your repairs, which makes it even weirder that something like this happened in the first place. My thoughts travel back to our previous conversation and the small details that they have revealed about their past. Damien said people used to bully them.
Wait.
B, I know what this looks like. Did someone break in and hurt my sweet Damien?
That's not it.
I know that face. It's not what you think. Damien. What happened? What do you mean? What happened?
It was my fault.
I was doing all those repairs because I knew I was starting to. It's not anyone's fault but mine.
Um,
Huh? What are you talking about?
I...
What? No. My magic, it's weakening, B. Your magic is weakening? I tilt my head so far to the side that my neck pops.
Remember?
Remember when I told you that I've had to replace my parts a lot? There's, only one thing I've kept ever since I was made.
well...
Is that the machine?
Yes.
Yes. The
Well,
machine, my heart, is what stores the magic that makes up, well, me.
my maker.
My maker never could create, for me, a living heart.
Although...
But thanks to the machine keeping me together, I was allowed to exist for as long as I have. But it started to sputter lately. And no matter how tightly I stitch everything, if my heart stops for just a second, This happens? Damien nods, the guilt clear on their face. Mr. West said it would happen sooner rather than later, and offered me a replacement heart for free, but I can't.
Huh?
Can't?
Why?
What do you mean you can't? Damien, at this rate you'll...
But
I know.
I'm scared.
I know, but I'm scared. B, my heart, that's everything I ever was, everything I ever will be.
My maker.
My maker? I was his only creation that lived. Damien's tears and the needleless seemed to be almost done, so I pulled them into a hug, and the tightest one I can muster. They apologized, as they always do, and buried their head against my shoulder.
I can't.
It's the last thing that's still me, B. If I lose it, you'll still be Damien.
Huh?
Damien, you need to take that replacement. I know you're scared, but your disappearing is even more terrifying. I cannot bear to lose you. But what if you still lose me?
What if
I don't remember you?
I will!
Then I'll do the remembering for you. I'll show you everything all over again, every last drop, because you'll still be in the world to see it with me.
Please?
Please, promise me, if I pass my exams, we'll go together to replace your heart.
Okay.
Okay. As long as you're there, I promise.
Alright!
Great. I wiped the corner of my eyes where tears had begun to bubble with the back of my wrist, and I give a weary smile. Because, I think I just stitched our shirt collars together. Leaning up against someone when there's a needle at work isn't a great idea after all. Damien laughs, and trepidation I was having disappears. I glance over at my spellbook stacked atop a table. With so much at stake now, I really have to give it my all. Okay, we cannot fail. Uh-oh. Oh, today I went to work. I didn't mean to go to work, actually. It just froze. Nothing special happened, and I earned a good amount of pocket money. Okay. I didn't actually mean to... Hello there. How may I assist you today? We're gonna buy some yellow ones. We're gonna go ahead with 3. Let's get some... I got lots of blue. Let's get some pink. Pink. We're gonna go with 1. Okay. I don't know how much money we have now. We have 5. Let's buy 1 more potion. Get that 1. Now we're broke. Okay. Ooh, I did not have that many pink ones. Okay. We're in a desperate need for pink ones. So, let's go ahead and do those. Get those pink ones. There we go. Okay, let's do learn a spell. We could use some new spells. Let's do Fireball. Learn the spells. Be Nightshade, the stressed, the worried. I've been wondering, B. What?
Well,
Setting aside that Halloween exam's monomania, isn't there a spell that you'd actually like to learn? A spell I'd like to learn? Yep.
yes.
I thought it might be less stressful for you to learn a spell you've always wanted to learn.
Like,
You mean such a spell to make every matchmaking party I have a huge success?
No.
No. Anyways, you don't need a spell to manage that. A ting of pink tickles my cheeks. Thanks, Zero. I'm by far, without a shadow of a doubt, the most amazing matchmaker in Dwemermere High, aren't I?
Wait.
That wasn't a... Wait. That sort of was a compliment, wasn't it? Ugh.
it's love, love, love.
Love, love, love makes the world go round, round, round.
You know.
Let me put it this way. Suppose everyone you know has already found happiness in true love. There isn't anyone left to matchmake with anyone else anymore.
Right.
I'm trying to get there. You mustn't rush me.
Hey!
That's not what I mean. Keep calm, Zero. Breathe in, breathe out. I slowly move my arms up and down in alignment with my breathing for Zero to see. His brow twitches slightly at the sight.
That means...
What I wish to say is, given the situation I described just now, wouldn't there be a spell you'd be interested in learning?
Like,
When I was little, do you remember the fantasy stories we would read together? I do. I also recall you were a lot less insufferable then.
yes.
I loved the tales of powerful mages who could call lightning down from the skies, cleave mountains apart, the hurl fiery infernos.
Yeah.
I used to daydream about how cool it would be if I were a mage like that, battling the forces of evil with awesome spells.
Yes.
Summoning lightning and cleaving mountains are a little advanced at this stage.
But...
How would you like to learn how to throw fireballs?
Oh.
You mean I can?
Yes.
I do. It's one of the most basic spells there is, and even a chronically turret witch like you should be able to get the hang of it in no time.
Amazing.
Awesome! Teach me, Zero.
Alright.
Alright, prepare yourself, B. I'm going to teach you how to cast Fireball. Yes,
Fireball.
Fireball. As the area between my palms grows warm, a small little sphere of flame flickers to life.
Wow.
Wow, I made a fire.
Mm-hmm.
You should have been able to cast this 10 months ago. Well, it's better late than never, I suppose.
Zero.
Zero, follow me.
Huh?
Where are you going? I dashed down the stairs to the kitchen with Zero trailing the air noiselessly behind me.
Fireball.
Zero, watch! Fireball! I toss the fireball into the stovetop, which starts burning. I grab a pan, smear some butter on the surface, and crack 2 eggs into it.
I see.
Ah. I hold the pan over the stove. Soon the eggs are crackling, and savory smell fills the air.
Yes.
Fireball fried eggs!
Yes.
Yes, quite. Fireball, while primarily used as a combat magic, is a favorite of mages who arrange their barbecue on a day with the damp weather. Next, I fill a kettle with water and throw a satchel of tea leaves.
Right.
I'm gonna make Fireball boiled tea, too.
Well done.
I am so glad you are finding so many domestic uses for this spell. But tell me, B,
Well,
when are you going to give battle to a ravening kraken with your fiery inferno? Save a beleaguered city by incinerating hordes of the undead led by the evil necromancer.
Well.
Zero, I know I am long way away from being a true witch. I know I'm starting late. I know there's so many things to learn in so little time. But I'm trying my best in my own way. And I know how lucky I am to have you here helping me push through it, Zero.
Please?
Will you continue lending me your support like you always have through all this time? He stares deeply at my person before nodding gently nearly hiding what is the softest smile I have ever seen from him.
Eventually.
Yes, yes, I will. Well, on some days we don't have a single customer, but on others, well, this happens. Bombarded by questions from all sides, I tried ringing up a customer who kept nagging me because he was in a hurry. When I finally told him the total, he suddenly asked me to go get a potion from a shelf on the other side of the shop. I decided to use Scuttle on my hand and went and sent it to the back room to get what he wanted instead. At the same time, I put his purchase into a bag and somehow even managed to calculate the new total by the time the vial found its way to the register. To my amazement, it was really easy to deal with 4 customers at once using this trick. Mr. West was so impressed by my skills that he increased my pay for the day. Easy as a piece of pumpkin pie.
Zero.
You know Zero?
Yes.
Yes, B.
Well,
I've been thinking. I know very little about you, don't I?
That's right.
You know very little about everything, B. That is why you're in such an imminent danger of flunking your own exams and getting expelled from Dwemermere High.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of which, how far did you progress with tonight's study plans? You've been by my side the whole time. You probably know the answer to the question better than I do.
oh yeah.
Do I? In which case, I must warn you that unless you start studying seriously and stop wasting time asking inane questions,
right.
that's just it. I fold my arms across my chest in the most exasperated expression I can muster. Zero isn't escaping this time.
Huh?
Eh? Whenever I
Like-
bring up the topic of your past, you try to deflect it and change the subject.
Do I?
Do I now?
Yes.
You do, Zero. You're my oldest friend, and I want to know more about you. But if you don't wish to tell me anything, all you have to do is say so, and I'll stop, because I respect your privacy.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't a matter of privacy. He lets out a defeated sigh.
Actually.
The reason I don't like to talk about my past is hardly that glamorous. I simply haven't much of a past to talk about. But you've been a poltergeist for quite a long time, haven't you?
Yes.
For much, much too long.
My earliest memories.
My earliest memories were of a haunting the north part of the graveyard and the name escapes me.
It
was a quaint little English village.
I remember.
I remember the vane on the church steeple, aligned in midday, the low, sad chimes of the church bell, telling the hour to those whom time no longer meant anything. His eyes hazy like the night sky as he reminisces against the distant memories of his past.
Oh.
It sounds peaceful there. He whips his head towards me, my comment having broken him from his trance.
No.
Peaceful? It was unbearably boring, that it drove me out of my mind.
Eventually.
One fine night, I decided I couldn't stand it any longer and left.
Mm-hmm.
I went here and there, haunting whatever took my fancy, lonely, windswept roads, crumbling, disused castles, and a dark, quaking tarns. Were you fond of those days? Not a bit.
A bit. In the past.
I was light and free and at a loss, so to speak. I drifted aimlessly wherever the wind blew.
Mm-hmm.
One evening I wound up here in Halloween Town.
Actually.
I hadn't planned to stay longer than I did anywhere else, but for one reason or another, after another, I never was able to get around to leaving. Eventually I just got used to the idea of living here. Is there anything you miss? But living here is great, isn't it? I gaze into Zero's eyes, which have become low and smoldering like embers about to die. Instinctively, I reach out to touch him, but check myself at the last moment. Zero observes this with a sad smile. What does that mean? What does what mean?
Well,
That the thing holding you is losing its grip. What does that mean?
That means.
It means my memory is weakening in my old age, which is probably since I have been in Halloween Town long before you were ever born. You were even born. But you, my dear B, are young and useless. Oh, well, young, and unless your memory starts improving dramatically, and with great haste, you will fail your Halloween exams and get expelled from school.
Yeah?
Fine, be that way. I turn into my books in a huff. Just as I am about to lift my pen, Zero speaks up.
Thank you.
Thank you, B. Huh? What for?
Never mind.
Nothing. Never mind. We spend the rest of the night companionably silent. Young and useless. Oh my god. I misread. Okay. We are burning through some. Night creatures. I'm telling you, the Zombie Hearts is the author's magma opus. A finer story has never been made in the history of forever.
No!
And I'm telling you that it's a load of rubbish. Did we even read the same book? Excuse me, folks, could you perhaps help me? We both look up when the elderly gentleman interrupts our debate, which I was totally right about, gesturing towards a haunted sculpture on the top shelf.
Of course!
Of course, my dear. I immediately turned to pick up a step stool from behind the counter.
Alright!
Here, let me...
I can do it!
There's no need. My adorable little servant will fetch it for me. Servant. Carmilla puckers her lips and lets out a soft whistle. Instantaneously, a small group of chittering bats swoop from the tops of the rafters and gather around her, gleefully spinning. Aw, they are cute. She gestures towards the sculpture. The cluster falls upon it in its swarm. They pick up the heavy stone between their claws and carry it down into Carmilla's waiting hands.
Here you go.
Here you go. Thank you, young lady. As he receives the product, he gives us both a small nod before continuing to browse the store selection.
Wow!
Whoa, Carmilla, that was amazing. I stare in awe as Carmilla's little posse of bats while they flap around her. One even lands on her shoulder and nuzzles against her cheek. In response, she affectionately pets the top of its head. She's like a spooky Cinderella.
Right.
Adorable darlings, no, I love hearing them mill about. Can you talk to them?
Yes.
Indeed I can. It's an inherent skill we vampires have, being able to communicate with creatures of the night.
You know?
Essentially, anything that creeps, crawls, or flaps is a close ally. She presses her index finger to her lips and winks.
Wow!
Wow, but I didn't see your eyes glow this time. Are you not controlling them? Why,
Not
see?
at all.
Not at all. I would never control a friend.
At any rate.
These are simple creatures that, if treated with kindness, will aid us in our daily lives, as well as dangerous situations.
What?
But you called them your servants.
No.
For oomph, my dear.
Now,
This particular family of bats have been bonded to me for generations. They may as well be my own blood.
I don't.
And we do not subjugate family. The bats swarm closer around her, butting their heads against her arms and hands for pets. She obliges and gently caresses their black fur.
Whoa.
Is it something I could learn too?
Maybe.
I don't see why not. That is, assuming I feel like teaching you. Huh? She smirks, saunters over to my side, and lets her words caress my ear. I apologize for your unsightly, moreover wrong opinion from earlier, and perhaps I may consider your request,
You know?
if only to celebrate your newfound sense of taste. Seriously? Over the book? Well, I'm definitely right, but...
Wow!
Oh, wow! Suddenly I see the error of my ways and think you were absolutely right. It was complete rubbish.
Right.
Oh? Is that so?
Right.
I just don't know how I didn't see it earlier, to be honest.
Please?
As always, you're so much wiser than me and oh so gracious. Please teach me more so that I can be like you one day, Lady Carmilla. A little overacted, my dear, but I'll take it.
Well,
Though, do you remember not to demand services from just anyone? We have a delicate balance in our relationship that we uphold, you see?
now,
If some outsider starts bossing my bats around, I would be obligated to defend them. Huh? I would never. I stare at her wide-eyed and hopeful. Perhaps. Whiff. I mean, you've been such a great teacher, Carmilla. Double seriously.
Right.
If I didn't have you showing me magic, I don't think I'll ever be able to learn it. You're brilliant in every way imaginable. Carmilla barely suppresses a grin. Oh, I suppose I can't deny that I've been the best teacher you've ever had.
I'll teach you.
Alright, little witch, I'll teach you how to cast night creatures. Her ego fed, Carmilla spends the next few hours teaching me how to create potions that can summon and communicate with creatures of the night. We start small, with a few spiders, then slowly move to practicing with her bats. It takes up the entire rest of the day at the shop. Still, I barely notice that time has passed until a customer rushes in at the last minute, because of course they would. Not like they have any upcoming exams that are sure to spell their impending doom. Excuse me, could you help me reach that skull up on the top of the shelf?
Of course.
Of course.
My dear.
Go ahead, my dear. Now's the perfect time to try out your new skill.
Night creature.
Night creatures. Spellcast, I whistle a small tune for the bats, just like Carmilla showed me. A few flutter over, but they don't even have half the enthusiasm they gave her. Bring me the skull. I point up towards the top shelf. They stare at me unmoving.
Come on.
Sweeter, doll. Please? Nothing.
Please?
Pretty please? Unsure what else to do, I take a few berries for my lunch and offer it to them. The bats sniff them for a moment, but then hesitantly accept the fruit. I inch towards the shelf, coaxing them along. Eventually they manage to grab the skull, but not without almost dropping it to the floor. Thankfully, I stumble forward in the nick of time, catch it, and hand it to the customer.
Right.
Here you go. Thanks. And don't worry, everyone's new at some point. After paying for the item and leaving a pity tip for me, he exits the shop. Once he's gone, I turn to Carmilla with a frown, big enough that my bottom lip jutted out. I don't get it. What did I do wrong?
Oh.
Your approach
sweet
could have
thing.
Your approach could have been better, but there's no need to take it personally.
Now.
I am more familiar to these bats than you are, after all. You'll need to build a much greater friendship with them to gain the same kind of trust they and I have. She pets one of the bats for emphasis, smiling down at her companion all the while. I hold out a finger. In response, a single bat flutters down, wraps its little claw around the middle of it, then hangs upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I smile to myself.
Yes.
We'll just have to spend more time together.
Da-dee-da.
Nightshade is the best. Find you someone from the rest. I sing quietly to myself as I dust the inside of the human shop, doing my best to keep the wares clean and tidy. Which, come to think of it, was kind of necessary. It was starting to get gross in here, especially the drapery. Just looking at these curtains makes me want to sneeze. I should probably take them outside before I start beating them. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. I go to tug them down, and a cloud of dust ambushes me as I do so. By the time it clears, there isn't a wall behind the drapery, but an ancient portrait framed in gold. A familiar dark-haired woman gazes down at me with empty yet captivating violet eyes, and wait a second.
Huh?
Carmilla?
Yes?
Yes, sweetness? I don't hear her approach, so when I whip my head around to see her standing beside me, I jump out of my skin a little. This is you, right? Not like a great-great-great-grandma that also happens to be your doppelganger. Indeed it is. What keen eyes you have. That is a portrait of yours truly, the eternally gorgeous Countess of Carnolia. And what an era that was.
Amazing!
Amazing. You were nobility? She folds her arms and raises her brow at me as she gives my chest a small poke with her index finger.
Come on!
I most definitely still am.
Yes!
Yes, of course, my lady.
What?
But wait, what is the painting you've been doing here anyways? She doesn't respond. Rather, when I look over, she's tracing a finger over the filaments on the portrait's frame, no doubt gathering dust from whatever era she's seeing that far-off gaze. Just wait a minute, oh Countess. The frame's a little crooked.
Wait!
No, B, don't touch. too late. I grasp the frame and adjust it accordingly. When I do, a scrap of paper falls out from behind the painting. Huh? What's this? I lift up the parchment. It's a faded pencil sketch of a woman with hair that flows like the ocean's waves and eyes as dark as the moonless night. And unfortunately, we are out of time. My timer is about to go off. So we're going to have to save. Oh gosh.
Wow!
Oh, stop.
Don't touch it.
Oh, shoot. We had to take that off. Okay. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and you heard her say, don't touch it. So, we've found something that she did not want us to find. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!